Hello everyone and welcome to a very interesting video as always on a Sunday. As you can tell by the thumbnail and the title, it's the fastest Group 1 cars. Now I thought this is a perfect weekend. It's the Le Mans 24-hour weekend. Why not see what the fastest Group 1 car is in Gran Turismo Sport? So that's what we've done. We've done the same for Group 4, Group 3, Group 2, and now it's time for Group 1, but with a few little differences, which I will explain in just a second. Now, in this video, what you will see is the fastest 0 to 100 miles an hour time. You will also see a top speed in the middle of a straight and the top speed at the end of a straight. So the whole idea here is to see which car is the fastest at accelerating without wheel spin bringing in a look factor, so we do use traction control. We will also be looking at just overall top speed and the acceleration to that top speed. So across the board, you should then be able to get a good idea-ish of which cars are fast accelerating, or which one has the top end, or which one might be good in slipstream. So I'll take you through each step individually and explain it. I also, during this video, will demonstrate what I think might be a bug. I discovered this while running this because it was very difficult to actually do that particular car. But I'll get to that at the end of the video. First up, let me explain how we actually do the tests as we go through first the 0 to 100 mile an hour test. So, first of all, what I do is level up the cars to the maximum level. This I don't really need to do. It's just something I've done ever since very early on in the GT Sport days, where leveling up a car actually improved the gear changes. It's not like that now. I just do it as a bit of a precaution, and then all cars are even because they're all leveled up to the max. You'll also spot I'm on the racing soft tyres now. Now, the reason I'm on those is because I had a comment that said we didn't never race on super softs. I agree, so I've done this test on the soft tyre. I finally then look at the gearing. And when I look at the gearing, I'm particularly just looking at what Gran Turismo says I should shift at. There are some cars where I should shift in a different place. Now, if there is a car you want me to retest, do let me know in the comments and I will retest at the correct rev range. But all I can go off originally, because I don't know every car off by heart, is that rev range right there in the top right hand side. So here we are then in the fastest 0 to 100 mile an hour car. And you can see it here, I'm trying to keep the hybrid at 100%. I tried this with all cars. There's only one car I could not do this with, but it's also the car with the bug, which I'll talk about later. So I'll line up at this line. It's the same test we've done on all the other tests, if you've seen those. And then what we do is we apply the handbrake. Traction control is on 1, and as we release the handbrake, the light just goes off. The first frame I get where the light is off, I take note of that time there. So it's 39.850. Now I'm keeping traction control on 1 throughout the first gear. When I've changed to second gear, I then turn it off, and then I continue all the way up to 100 mile an hour, which we've done already. It's that quick in these Group 1 cars, and then it's 44.2 there in terms of the time. And that's it. That's our first test, 0 to 100, and we do that on all the cars. And here is the outcome then. So the Audi Vision Gran Turismo car, four-wheel drive hybrid, the fastest car to 100 miles an hour. The Porsche up there as well. As you expect, most of the hybrids. Interestingly, the Bugatti Vision Gran Turismo car up there as well. Very fast accelerating there. The fastest non-hybrid car up there, basically, with the Mazda being very close there as well. To head towards the bottom then, as I expected, I imagine, the long boy is at the bottom by a substantial mile. Obviously, a lot of front-wheel drive, just spinningness happening there, and some of the older cars are down there as well. Interesting, the Peugeot 908 is down there. That was a bit of a surprise to me as well. But that is the 0 to 100 mile an hour test. Now, obviously, the hybrids are going to really drop down the table then as we go through the speed test. So what we'll do now is we'll jump to the fastest car to the start-finish line here at the Tokyo Expressway. I haven't actually mentioned that we're at the Tokyo Expressway. I've just assumed you can tell that by the images. Let's jump then to the fastest at the start-finish line. So now we're on with a non-hybrid car as we get ready to go. And I'm just showing you the start as well, just so you can see the difference here. And you see we change gear as we're expected to do. And we're going to continue on all the way then to the start-finish line. So you can see here in this car, this is actually a classic car, that the gear changes are very much delayed. So you can see why it wouldn't be fast in the 0 to 100 time. But it just picks speed up very quickly. And at the start-finish line is where we stopped here. 212 miles an hour. So that's quite a small area to get up to that speed. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you the table and what car that was. Some of you may have already guessed this. It was the Jaguar XJR9. I've actually put the drivetrains in there as well for your information. So you can see the classic cars now all at the top there, from the Jaguar down to the Porsche. And then, interesting, the McLaren Vision Gran Turismo, the highest Group 1 sort of modern car there with the hybrids. And you see the Mazda in there as well. Now, we're going to go to the bottom half of the table where all the hybrids are expected, apart from the McLaren, weirdly. The McLaren's got a really long gear as well, so it's a bit bizarre, to be honest. But you can see there a mixture of all sorts. The Nismo down. Well, it's not last for a change, I suppose, 196. But the Toyota TS 050 down at the bottom. That was a bit of a surprise to me, if I'm honest. But we saw that at Monza, actually, in the weekly race guide, that the Audi is quicker. And we can see it there on that leaderboard as well. Or we saw it there, should I say, because the leaderboard has disappeared. The final one, then, is the overall top speed, then. Let's jump to what was the fastest car with this, because it wasn't the Jaguar. So now you're seeing 3 different cars. Let's jump to that now. Here we are then. Another car, another full run. Well, this is the only full run you see, actually. But you can see, again, the 0 to 100. So if you've got any queries about it, you can let me know. Can you guess the car yet? This is a well-known top speed car in Group 1. You can see the speed picking up absolutely ferociously here. Look at this. As we head into the tunnel then. And as we get to the start-finish line, we'll have a look at the speed very quickly as we pass. That was 208. So you can see the second half here, it just picks up speed for days. Look at this, it's just going. 220, 221, 222, 223, 224 miles an hour. And then when we get to these highway markers here, this is our end result here, 224 miles an hour for this car. Now, if you haven't guessed already, it is the Nissan, the classic Nissan Group 1 car that is in here. I think it's the 92 CP. We're about to find out. There we go. And you can see it won by a substantial margin. That is absolutely huge. That result. And we've also got the remaining of the rev bar, because sometimes the rev bar indicates that there's actually a lot to go. Now, critically, when we go to the net screen in a second, you're going to see an absolute mammoth bar here. So the McLaren Vision Gran Turismo has been up there throughout this, but the Audi Vision Gran Turismo car, 175%. It has so long of a gear that I think potentially this could get the top speed in the class if it was long enough. You know, special stage Route X. It's quite amazing, really. And bottom of the list is Long Boy. It really is a car you do not want to use in Group 1. I don't know why it's there, to be honest. Well, I do, because it is an LMP1 car, but yeah, it's not very good. It's not balanced very well in the slightest. But hopefully that helps you in some way in terms of the Group 1 categories. What we are going to do now quickly is a jump to what I believe is a bug, and it does involve Long Boy as well, so we will have a look at that. If you do want any of the details for this, do check out the description. There's going to be a spreadsheet there, and you can go read up on this as well a little bit more in terms of the data, etc. Let's jump to this little bug then. Here we are with Long Boy. You can see the hybrid wasn't full. I could not get it to full. I tried my best. It's impossible, but you're about to see why as well. So we're heading off there, and you can see in the bottom left, the hybrid, it's got the red arrow saying we're using it. And we've just been left with that little bit, so that looks normal, right? Watch this. So we're just acceleration weight. We're not doing anything different here. But what? Look, it's just gone. It just disappeared by a little bit. So now we've got a tiny bit left, right? My foot is to the floor, same as all the other tests. And there we go. It's gone again. It just disappears. And I have no idea why. The hybrid just disappears. And I saw that without even touching the throttle as well. You just let off, it does the same thing. Now, you can see at the end here, we generate hardly any hybrid back. Now, brake balance is on 0, but even so, that is ridiculous. It just disappears. Is that a bug or not? Well, I don't know, but it'd be good if you could let me know. Excuse me, my throat's going here. But that is going to be it for this video, folks. I do hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it interesting. Hope you enjoyed Le Mans, as that was on while I was filming this as well. But is that a bug with the GTR Nismo? It looks like it to me. It really, really does. We've seen the fastest car, the fastest accelerating car, and the one to hit sort of near its top speed quite quickly. 3 different cars there. Maybe this will help you out when we feature another Group 1, not a Grand 1, a Group 1 race on the Gran Turismo, whether it's a daily race or a Nations Cup race. But as I say, that's going to be it for me now, folks. Do take care. Enjoy your week. Thanks so much for watching. Do give it a like if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment if you've got any queries, questions, etc. I will answer them soon. And there's another 2 videos there if you want to take a look at them. Remember to subscribe as well. But that's it for me. Au revoir, farewell, goodbye, auf Wiedersehen.